when it was created, there was muskets, right? So the Second Amendment was created to be able to defend and uphold our rights against tyrannical government. So that means whatever the government has, also have to have to be able to defend ourselves.
Yeah, but
That was great.
would you want everybody to be able to have like automatic weapons and like nuclear weapons?
Absolutely.
Oh boy.
This is the second time that I've had to film this intro today, because as I was making this video, another school shooting has occurred, this time in Madison, Wisconsin. My heart breaks for the parents and the children involved, and beyond that, for society as a whole. The fact that this has become our new normal is absolutely heartbreaking, and it makes these kinds of conversations so much more important. I was actually out running errands when this live took place the other night, so I'm kind of glad that I didn't get a chance to come up on panel, because to be perfectly honest, I would have had a very hard time not treating this kid as the child that I see him. I see him as childish, I see him as ignorant, and I see him as immature, in a way that you can only be when you are 22 years old and you have not only not come to terms with your own mortality, but the mortality of the people around you. Now, I am very pro-Second Amendment. I live in one of the most pro-gun states in the country, which also happens to be the second highest state for gun violence. Being pro-Second Amendment also contains an unspoken responsibility when it comes to being a gun owner, especially when you represent yourself online. So we're going to take a look at this kid's opinions.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's live stream. Let me introduce my guest, TRCU. Your mic is muted, by the way.
There you go.
How's it going, buddy? Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect.
All right. So TRCU is a Second Amendment frauditor. We'll use that term for now that I covered this week. He reached out. It was, I believe, yesterday, and he said, "You know what? Let's have a conversation." He wants to express his point of view. And I haven't done an interview or a debate with a frauditor in a long time. I think with the First Amendment frauditors, it's completely pointless. They have the same arguments over and over. But I've always wanted to have a debate with a Second Amendment auditor or frauditor, however you want to call it. And the armed fisherman is too scared. So TRCU volunteered. So here we are. Now, what are you expecting out of this interview debate? What are you looking for?
I'm not really looking for too much. I think an open discussion is a great thing that we can have. That's what the First Amendment is for. And I'm a true believer in people having their own opinions. And I'm just here to break the ice and maybe change some minds. Maybe. You never know. But just to get my point across and to fill in some of the questions that you had in some of the videos that you made about me.
All right. Sounds good. If you could either speak louder or get closer to the mic, or I don't want to do it on my end because it might mess with a couple settings. Yeah, so I think the best way to introduce the viewers, just so we're all on the same page, is to review the video live, the two videos that I've covered, right? So that way we're all on the same page. There's no misunderstandings. So let me share screen. So the first video is going to be this one over here.
How does that sound?
Much better. That's great. All right. All right. So this is the first video that I included in my video. This is where you were doing a Second Amendment audit, and it's body cam footage, and it starts over here with you being held at gunpoint by two officers, right?
Right.
All right. Let's play it.
Hey, stop. Hey, bud, stop. What? At the moment, yes, you are. Just keep your hands up for me. Everyone, hold the air. Just keep your hands up. That's fine. Well, we need to figure out what.
So is the volume good on the in the side chat. Let me know if the volume is good. You hear everything. So right off the bat, you're saying if you guys want to get into a lawsuit, that's what's going to happen or something of the sort.
Correct.
So what's your intent in doing these stunts? I call them stunts. I think it's a proper term for that. What's the intent?
So I think that's a great first question for this video. My intent was simply just to get some exercise. So I do ruck a lot, and having that equipment on, I don't know if you're familiar with how plate carriers or body armor works. You know, when you first get it, you got to adjust it. You got to make sure the equipment's right. You know, I'm always changing equipment sometimes, so I want to make sure that when I wear it and in the event that I ever need to use it, that it's set up properly. So that's why I chose to do that. And that was also the first snow day that we had for the season as well. So,
okay, man, I don't know if I buy this argument, to be honest. You're doing this to exercise, like just to like maintain, to be healthy, and you're taking your AR on a walk and your bulletproof vest. First of all, is it a real bulletproof vest or is it a plate carrier? What is it?
it is a bulletproof vest. There's actual plates inside of that, the carrier.
All right. I don't know if I believe that, because there's so many other exercise vests that would not generate this type of response. Like, do you agree?
Sure, there's other vests, but like I said, you know, I'm training for a ruck that I had. I had a 12-mile ruck coming up where we did have to wear gear like that. Also, like I was saying, if I ever have to wear that equipment in the event of some sort of emergency, I want to make sure that I am the best and the most capable in that equipment. So the only way to find that out is to put it on and go exercise in it. You know what I mean?
Now, I saw both of these videos when they came out, and to be perfectly honest, the first thing that comes to mind when you see them, to me, is the fact that they are very performative. Now, if you go to this kid's YouTube page, you, of course, see the obligatory GoFundMe, you see the obligatory Cash App. Now, to me, number one, this is one of the first red flags, because if you are claiming that you are an activist, you should be financially responsible enough for yourself that you are going to pay for your own actions. Because ultimately, there is always going to be the chance that you are indeed going to be wrong. You are going to do something wrong. So why are you asking other people to pay for your mistakes? Saying that you are going to teach people about their rights through real-life situations that you are artificially creating, but then asking for the money to deal with the consequences doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But what you also see is his description saying that through real-life encounters and experiences, he's going to show you how to stand up for your rights in everyday situations. Now, the problem with that is he is creating those situations. He is artificially creating those situations. And the problem when you are artificially creating situations, you are creating situations that aren't really happening in real life. Because normal people do not run down the street with an AR-15 strapped to their chest with a bulletproof vest in the snow at 2 o'clock in the morning. That is not a real-life situation. That is a contrived situation. So yes, the response to that particular situation is going to be very different to someone who's just doing a normal open carry.
I just didn't even really want to post to YouTube, to be honest with you. I never thought I'd be a quote-unquote YouTuber or anything like that. So this kind of just happened overnight, and yeah, you know, that's my reasoning for that. I'm definitely up for posting more transparency in my side of view on the good experiences that I've had. Not too many after this encounter, because you know they're now aware of the situation that they've caused, and they've been retaliating against me ever since. So
that right there is a lie. So the first video he has on his channel is from 4 years ago, where he's claiming a Colorado State Patrol attacked citizen for asking name and refusing to back up. Now, I'm going to play this clip, but in this clip, he specifically says that they know who he is. So this is not the first time. This will not be the last time, and he absolutely intended to publish to YouTube. So that statement he just made is incredibly disingenuous.
On freedom fighters. So here on November 22nd, around 4:30 p.m., this incident took place at the James Merrick State Parking Facility right here on Google Maps. You can see that. In the video, you'll be able to see all that goes on. We didn't really make any initial first contact with these officers, but you'll see.
See what?
He acts nonchalant, but watch, he's gonna turn around again, watch. Let's see if they put up no trespassing signs. It says parking lot managed by real estate service. No, we're good. Doesn't say anything about trespassing.
Camera's on.
I mean, you don't have to have it on. It's just your whatever you want.
Stairs over there. You guys need.
No, we're good.
Check.
Great job.
I just put on your nine.
All right, thanks.
We can do this game all day. There's more of us than you.
I mean, I don't know. What's your name and badge number?
Right there.
Can you back up? 3708. Got you. This is a public parking lot, is it not? This is a state or a public building, right?
Nobody told you to leave.
Right, so we can be here.
Okay.
So I don't need your mouth. Go ask your sergeant who I am.
So as you can see, he started the Cash App in his channel name 4 years ago. So happened overnight, my ass.
You got a 1678 AS assist. Your license plate, XQK 926.
I don't know. They're just coming up here.
Yep. We're not harassing you. What's your name, sir? What's your name, sir? Excuse me, sir. What's your name? You don't want to state your name?
Back up.
You don't want to state your
Do
name?
it right now.
Make me.
Back up.
Make me.
Back up now.
Okay. 9444. 9444. That's assault. Simple battery. It doesn't matter. It's a public parking lot. You can't just push people because you want to. I'm still here.
Go.
Go ahead and arrest me if you want to. I'm right here. I won't resist. I promise you. If that's what you guys want to do.
Nobody's arresting you.
Yes, you are. 9444. Yeah, I don't know who gave you those stripes, buddy.
Go.
I'll peel them one off at a time. If that's what you want to do.
Go.
Say goodbye to your qualified immunity. And all of you guys too, failure to act. We'll find out who all was here. It's all in the CAD report. Bye. Watch out. You see that one right there? I just got assaulted.
I didn't see it.
He literally pushed me back all the way. Yep. No, I got assaulted for sure. Oh yeah, I for sure just got assaulted though. I'm so serious.
I didn't fucking see it.
He said, get back. I said, he started pointing at me and shit. He said, I said, make me. And then he said,
Did he really?
I swear to God.
You're fucking.
I'm so serious. And I said like this though. I said, as I was getting pushed back.
So regardless of what he says, it's very obvious his intention was always to post to YouTube. We have evidence that he has been doing this for at least 4 years, possibly longer. Now, I can tell you this officer still has his qualified immunity. This entitled little shit didn't do anything. And what this video does tell us, though, is the attention-seeking performative behavior that we're seeing in the current videos makes a little bit more sense because he is escalating. He didn't get the attention that he wanted 4 years ago, so he is trying again. We are very obviously dealing with one of the Tide Pod eating generation.
I just said you need to stop. That's enough. Hey, Bill, you got a biker coming on your right.
That's right there, man. Find a different route. Find a different route. Huh? You're lucky? Way south. So you get some exercise, man. I don't know what's the big deal.
There's a big deal because you're carrying a rifle right now. Well, we can.
All right, to your credit, I didn't hear that the first time. He did mention the exercise. I still don't buy it, but I just want to point it out there.
Yeah, if you don't mind it, I'll interrupt really quick.
We're not violating your rights. We have every reason we could contact you. We could contact you. Definitely. Yes, we can.
I'm against you against my will.
No, you're not.
I'm just gonna sue you. It's all good.
You're in a what?
I'm just gonna sue. It's all good.
Okay. Well,
I'm recording everything, by the way.
we are too.
Perfect.
1 second, my splitter is malfunctioning. All right. So here you're talking about the lawsuit against. So are you intending on suing this department?
I was having some microphone difficulties there. It's a new
No
set
worries.
to me. Ask that again.
So you mentioned the lawsuit again. It's the second time you mentioned the lawsuit. So is your intent to sue the department?
If my rights were violated, which they were, and I truly believe that they were, yes, I do intend to sue this department for their actions in this video.
So you think they violated your rights? So let me ask you this. We're going to get deeper into that, but they see a guy with, why don't you tell us what kind of gun? Is it an AR or?
It is some sort of AR. To be specific, it's a AR-10. So it is chambered in .308.
Okay. So a semi-auto, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So you see a guy with a semi-auto, you have your bulletproof vest, you're dressed in tactical gear, you have some type of carrier over here. What do you expect the cops to do? So in your mind, they should just look the other way, not pay attention to you, not investigate you?
Like I said, I've done this in Inglewood, this exact city on those exact streets before, and I've had waves from police officers and different things like that. So they kind of made a false representation of themselves and acted in a good way. And then this happened. So like I said, I'm not sure what to expect out of them. I don't know individually who these people are, but I did not expect something like this to happen. Maybe a question, maybe a, hey, what are you doing? A confrontation of a sort, or not a confrontation, but maybe a question.
So you're expecting an interaction, at least an interaction.
Not necessarily. Like I said, I've done it before, but maybe I thought maybe somebody would be curious. I've had just random people ask me as well. So I'm always open to conversation, 100%.
Yeah. So were you recording?
At this time, yes.
Okay. I just want to clarify that, Peter, because we're going to watch his other videos and he is wearing a GoPro, right?
So it's an iPhone that is in the plate carrier has a attachment on my chest right here. So that's what I'm wearing in this video as well.
All right, gotcha. Yeah, I just want to clarify that because in the next video, I think this video is something. The next video is much worse, in my opinion. But so we all agree that you're going to generate some type of police response, and people are on high alert. This is the same city that had the guy that dressed up like the Joker and shot up the cinema, right?
No, I think that was Aurora, Colorado. So that's a different
Aurora.
city. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, but nearby. You understand where I'm going. People are on high alert. They see a guy with an AR. There's going to be a reaction. So you're telling me that you're not baiting that type of reaction. That's
absolutely not. I'm just an American. Like I said, I love to exercise physically, and I also love to exercise my rights. And that's what I was doing in the video. I didn't plan on even posting this to YouTube. I just thought I could do my training and go back home and call it a day. I never expected this. So,
Except he was recording before he even stopped. That is a huge indication he knew a confrontation was going to happen, and he always intended to post it to YouTube.
I'm a business owner. That's what I'll say.
Okay. All right then. So let's keep watching.
Bill, I'm gonna come back to you.
What's up?
I'm coming to you.
Okay.
You wanna how you wanna do this? You wanna stop traffic?
Yeah.
All right.
I put them on my head. My hands are getting this out.
You put them on your head.
I don't consider in search and seizure.
Well, here's the thing, man.
And here's the thing, nothing. Do what you gotta do.
You can detain you real quick.
I'm just gonna sue you. It's all good.
That's fine.
It's all good.
You're gonna lock your fingers.
Okay.
So now we've established that this is a pattern of behavior over a long period of time. There were intentional acts done 4 years ago that show that YouTube was always kind of the goal. Why would you create a Cash App under your YouTube channel if you didn't have long-term plans to do so? Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump ahead to the end of the live where he says some things that thankfully are objectively wrong, but really makes me think he is more on the extremist side. His twisted version of the Constitution is more than a little concerning.
And in conclusion, I don't think you're a bad guy. I've said it before. I do respect you. I don't think you're a bad guy, but you're young. How old are you? Like 24, something like that?
A little younger, 22.
22, and you have your whole life ahead of you. I think it looks like you have a woman over there. You're gonna make a family, I assume. Just be careful, man, because you're going down a very slippery slope. And if you do choose to continue YouTube, post positive interaction so you don't radicalize your audience. Show both sides of the coin. That's all I would say.
I'm looking for good cops. If, let me know where they're at.
I mean, you said you have encountered some, right? But you didn't post it.
Right. Yeah. Other than just the ones that maybe waved at me when I was in there, I don't really deal with cops like that. I don't see them too often, so it's kind of hard to. Usually, when you see them, they're doing something to you or to somebody else. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's a little harder to capture the good side of what they do because I think a lot of what you see is the bad side.
Yeah, for sure. One wing hero said, if rights are like muscles, abusing your muscles can help you lose them. Also, and I believe open carrying is an unnecessary weapon is definitely abusive to the Constitution. What do you have to say about that?
I would agree with the abusing your muscles part. I did a bunch of squats like a couple weeks ago and my legs were wrecked. I couldn't even stand up. So I agree with that part. I disagree with the part that he says that it's unnecessary or the unnecessary weapon is an abuse of the Constitution. If you truly understand the context of the Constitution and what it's meant for, you would understand that makes sense of what I'm doing.
So here's where his immaturity in thinking really starts to show. When the Constitution was written and when the Second Amendment was written, this was not intended for performative actions. It was not so people could walk around with a gun just to prove they could. If you were walking around with a gun in the 18th century, it's because you needed it and you were prepared to use it. It was not so you could walk around with it to, quote unquote, exercise your rights and post it to YouTube. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Last thing, if you use your rights, right, to do something, if they make laws to stop you from doing that, and you're saying the more that you do it, the more that they're wanting to take it away, is that not tyrannical?
I mean, the laws have a reason for it. They have a reason for it. And I think they have to look at the bigger picture. Like, keep in mind the Constitution was written hundreds of years ago when there was bears that could crawl up in your window and just destroy you. They weren't considering mental health issues, the amount of criminality, the amount of people that are in the States right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, and to add to that, I seen somebody comment and say that when it was created, there was muskets, right? So the Second Amendment was created to be able to defend and uphold our rights. against tyrannical government. So that means whatever the government has, we also have to have to be able to defend ourselves.
Yeah, but would
Well,
you want everybody to be able to have like automatic weapons and like nuclear weapons?
Absolutely.
Oh boy. All right. I
That
think
government has, yeah.
you think, all right. I was going to wrap it up, but let's give it another minute. You think that the average citizen should be able to press a button and kill hundreds of millions of people or tens of millions?
Well, I mean, if we're talking about nukes, right? So those
Yeah.
are very expensive. How many people can afford that?
I don't know. How much are they?
Probably a lot. You know what I mean? If I had to guess.
I mean, we don't have to guess. We have Google. How much does a nuclear... Man, am I going to end up on some type of list for Googling that? Hold on. It's okay. It's okay. I'll type it. Hold on. I'm having some malfunctions. If you're listening, government, I don't have any bad intent. I'm just curious for this conversation. All right. Hopefully I don't end up on some list. How much does a nuclear bomb cost? So, all right. So it costs around $85 million. So yes, the average person...
There is so much stupid in that statement, it's really hard to know where to start. But let's start off with the fact we are a self-governing nation, and what that means is our government is not a separate entity. We are all we the people. It does not matter if you work in the private sector or the public sector, we all have equal rights under the law. That includes the Second Amendment. Now, when it comes to nuclear weapons and things like that, those are not owned by individual people. No one in the government owns a nuclear weapon. The nuclear weapons are owned by our military state for defense of our country. Saying that a normal person should be able to own a nuclear weapon is probably one of the most mentally deficient things I have ever heard. Because if you it does not matter how much they cost, the price of a nuclear weapon is irrelevant. If you were to make nuclear weapons legal for the average everyday citizen to own, you are also making all of the components legal. And a lot of the components in themselves are very, very dangerous. But not only that, when you make something legal, you are also going to create a demand for it because there are going to be idiots that want to try and build one. And it would take a very short amount of time before we had a radioactive accident. Just because someone is rich doesn't mean they aren't stupid. And then why stop at nukes? What about biological warfare? Where do you stop? Where does arms stop? How about nerve gas or electromagnetic pulse weapons? Should you be able to walk down the street and purchase a dose of smallpox because you don't like your next door neighbor? This kid is either the stupidest human being on the planet, or you have a local mental asylum missing a patient. What it comes down to is that is not freedom. These morons run around screaming that freedom is scary. That isn't freedom. What that is you creating the Hunger Games, because that's how you create the Hunger Games. You make weapons of mass destruction available only to the rich elite, because that's what you would do. Most of them would be so prohibitively expensive that the only people would be able to afford them are that 0.001% of the population. And that 0.001% of the population would then have a method to control the general public. You would create tyranny because they would not be answerable to we the people like the government is. And of course, you would have the accidents from people trying to build these weapons. You would have these dumbasses in their garages trying to build nuclear weapons. That isn't freedom. And the fact that he can even say that with a straight face, whew, unbelievable. Absolutely fucking unbelievable. That is not what the Second Amendment was ever intended for. Nowhere in the Second Amendment says should anyone have access to everything that the government has. And to be perfectly honest, they never would have conceived the weaponry that we have today. Fucking stupid.
We live in reality and not in your reality, because in how you would want things to be, I don't think we would survive 100 years. Citizens having nukes, do you know like the amount of damage like that the fallout does to the environment? I don't think humanity would survive 100 years if it was up to you, unfortunately.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I'm against bad people. I'm a good guy. You know what I mean? I would never do such a thing. I don't even think I'd be able to ever afford one of those, to be honest with you. But
85 million is a lot of money. But
yeah.
Honestly, I'm so glad we don't live in your world, man, because in your world, we would be looking at a zombie TV show reality within a few decades. Because, yeah. Anyways, that was quite the change of vibe towards the end. But nevertheless, man, you're young. I would say I'm glad you're.
Yeah, I'm a good guy. I just want to give everybody nuclear weapons. I'm sorry, Predator Troll is a little nicer than I am at this point. You know, yes, the guy's age does play a part into this. He is absolutely ignorant because of his age. He is immature. He is incredibly childish. His viewpoints are incredibly childish. His arguments are very childish. But at the same time, I can't get past the fact that he doesn't see that that is not freedom. That would be so counterproductive to any advancement of our country that I don't see how anybody couldn't see that. I really don't. I don't see how anybody could say with a straight face that they want to make weapons of mass destruction available to the general public. But not only just available to the general public, acknowledging the fact that they are so expensive that you would be giving them to one very specific class. You would be handing over power, immeasurable power, to one very specific class. That's just insane to me. And again, you make all of these weapons legal, whether it's nerve gas or nuclear weapons, all of them have components that individually someone might be able to afford and are also very, very incredibly dangerous. It's just stupid. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what else you would like to see, and I will catch you on the next one.